Colossians chapter 1 verses 16 through 19 says, "For by him were all things created that are in heaven and that are in earth, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers. All things were created by him and for him, and he is before all things, and by him all things consist. And he is the head of the body, the church, who is the beginning, the firstborn from the dead, that in all things he might have the preeminence. For it pleased the Father that in him should all fullness dwell." All things were created by Christ and for Christ. By Christ all things consist. Genesis 1:1 says, "In the beginning God created the heaven and the earth." I like what David said in Psalms 8:3. He says, "When I consider thy heavens, the work of thy fingers, the moon and the stars which thou hast ordained." Psalms 89:11 says, "The heavens are thine, the earth also is thine. As for the world and the fullness thereof, thou hast founded them." Psalms 102:25 says, "Of old hast thou laid the foundation of the earth, and the heavens are the work of thy hands." Every time I look in the sky, in the daytime, when you see the first heaven, and in the nighttime when you see the second heaven, I just love to see God's creation, and I think about Psalms 8:3, when David said, "When I consider thy heavens, the work of thy fingers," I think about that, I just love God's creation, when it comes to plant life, animal life, human life. You see God, you literally see God. And then to see the earthly creation, like nature, and then to see outer space, to see the sun and the moon and the stars, and the galaxies. It really amazes me, and it should amaze every born again believer, how the creation, the design, that how God did it, and he spoke the world into existence, Wow. Hebrews 1:2 says, "Hath in these last days spoken unto us by his Son, whom he has appointed heir of all things, by whom also he made the worlds." Christ made the worlds. The earth is not just the only world. There are billions of planets out there. Man has only discovered a small percentage, of God's creation. There is so much out there that man hasn't even discovered yet. Hebrews 1:10 says, "And thou, Lord, in the beginning hast laid the foundation of the earth, and the heavens are the works of thine hands." And Hebrews 11:3 says, "Through faith we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of God, so that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear." We are living in some very dangerous and scary times, but we are also living in very exciting times. What Barack Obama is about to do when it comes to Syria, Isaiah chapter 17 verse 1 is about to be fulfilled. Damascus is about to become a ruinous heap right before our very eyes. The church can go home at any moment. And I can't wait for that. I can't wait to see the heavenly city, the New Jerusalem, the heavenly creation. We see the earthly creation, but to see the heavenly creation. It just got me excited, that we to be raptured, caught up to meet the Lord in the air, and then for Jesus to take us home to heaven. What a time that will be. What a time that will be. But I just love God's creation, I just love seeing it, it really amazes me. But what I really desire, and what every believer should desire, should intensely desire, is to see the new heaven and the new earth, where everything will be absolutely perfect.